Oh, goody, goody, goody. So, hey, we're just a few days left until the Orbis Caster Clash, and then I happen to get a top 100 GuildWar. Yay! Alright, so let's have some fun with this. I see Iwinter, Senya, and I see Choux. So, whenever I see Iwinter and I see, like, Senya Choux together, just kind of like Iwinter comps in general, I generally want to go into that with Roana. Mainly because Roana can steal heal without using a non-attack skill. And because there's Senya Choux there, I decided to just bring Arunka as well. So the general strategy at first was, okay, so we're going to take a 50-50 here to see who is Iwinter going to hit. She's either going to go into Arunka or she's going to go into Roana, because they're both going to have the same amount of health. So Roana is the one who ultimately lost that race, but the good news is she's only aiming for those 2 units. So that leaves Shadow Knight Pyllis alone, where she can use her S3, which is not a non-attack skill, which will cleanse 1 debuff, which is the 2-turn stun that Iwinter does. So if you can find a way to cleanse that 2-turn stun, Iwinter is a complete non-issue, especially if you can cleanse it without triggering like the non-attack skill. So things are actually looking a little bit sketchy right now because I'm getting a little bit unlucky. The Choux actually hit my Arunka and like crit her on the first hit, and then she procced a follow-up attack. Thankfully, both attacks didn't hit. But ultimately, we're still okay because Shadow Knight Pyllis is still doing good. We still gain Vigilant Eye even if Roana was like stunned or whatever, which is just like probably the most base thing about her. Like, yo, what other healer in the game do you know of that can heal when they're also being affected by like stun debuffs and shit like that? It's crazy. But like right here, we've already dealt with the Senya, we've already dealt with the Choux. We're good to go, and I just went ahead and checked the turn order. She has her S3 available. I didn't need to do that, but ultimately I was checking to see like, oh, okay, so did I make it in time so I can go ahead and do this S3 like res? Which ultimately, yeah, I did it just in time. So even if that right there killed my Arunka, she would then immediately come back and I would be able to go back into the Iwinter, and you would be able to have enough time to heal with the Celestine on the Roana's S1 to ultimately get your health back. So yeah, it kind of works out. Celestine Roana really farms an Iwinter team pretty bad. Now, what we're fighting now is Lua, Mercedes, and Belian. Lua, Mercedes, Belian is honestly pretty cancer, mainly because of our good friend Lua there. Lua really doesn't have enough counters yet, and I'm waiting with bated breath for the balance patch that's going to be coming soon, just to see if we're going to have a couple of more answers to her. What with the Ancient Dragon's Legacy, like Lilias strategy that a lot of people have been formulating already. Hopefully that all works out. But hey, ultimately what we're doing here is I was expecting Magic of Friends to happen, and hey, it did. So I was able to get Lionheart to proc. Now Mercedes is dead once. Now we have to kill her again, and hey, we get lucky again. We got a dual attack, and that dual attack did indeed matter. That dual attack then killed Mercedes, and then it also procced Elbrus on Belian. Belian then procs Lionheart one more time. Hey, we're primed and ready for another S3. Boy, everything's just working swimmingly. And because we have Ed there, Ed is the perma target for Lua, and hopefully she will hit with all of her debuffs on Ed. That will always go into all of them, deal a lot of extra damage to it. And because we also got that Lionheart proc, yeah, we're just going to S3, go into Belian here, and hope for a debuff. Cool, debuff hit Ed. And now with that, they're dead, because of the extra damage that Equivalent Exchange does. Ooh, woo. That was fun. So, are you guys ready for some depression? I am. So, ultimately, I just do stupid shit. Like, there was absolutely no reason to bring Last Rider Krau into this. If anything, Last Rider Krau absolutely confirms the death of my team. Because, let's actually think about this. My Last Rider Krau doesn't have ER. My Last Rider Krau isn't really fast. My Last Rider Krau only has a lot of defense and a lot of HP and like, what, 200-something speed? So, cool, we've been provoked into Senya. We just took a lot of extra damage from not critting her, and then we just straight up take 5k here as well because of all the Death Break shenanigans. And also, this Senya is strong as fuck. So, we're in a extremely bad situation right now. So, we're also dealing with Pyllis, who has an abnormal amount of damage on her. So because of that, we do not get the extra 60 ER for being above 70% HP. So eventually, you're going to see what's going to happen with this. But ultimately, this is a very prime example of if you were afraid of debuffs happening, which I wasn't afraid of debuffs happening. Quite frankly, I really just wasn't thinking this through very well. But I still can ultimately win. And I'm like, okay, well, let me just get a big heal off with Roana right here, and I'll see if I can just still recover. Because as soon as I can take Briar Witch down, I win. Because the Senya is not going to be able to kill me at that point. So I'm going into Briar Witch. Cool, does a good bit of damage. If I do one more hit into her and if I get a provoke, we should be good to go. But because of that lack of 60 extra ER, I got provoked. So now because of this, there is no actual solution at this point. You may be thinking, oh, well, what if Lilias brings in another unit and then you get killed right there? Well, no. Briar Witch being on the team completely prevents revives. So that revive buff does jack fucking shit. That was one thing that I thought of. Is like, well, maybe something like that could happen, but then I just remembered. It's like, oh yeah, Briar Witch. I completely forgot about that shit. And because Briar Witch is completely unchecked, she's able to get her S3 off again. Yeah, you cannot win at this point. So if I brought Christy to this, I probably would have had a much better fighting chance, because then we wouldn't have really had to deal with as much defense break shenanigans. So yeah, why didn't I bring Christy there? Well, because I brought Christy here. So this was also another fairly bad idea. What I was thinking was, okay, so I have 2 dark units here, and this is a top 100 guild. So I am expecting phenomenal damage. And quite frankly, they did deliver. Like, that Rylet did 10k to my Doris, and that was also through a Christy with Aureus. I was a little afraid to bring just Doris by herself into this kind of shit, because otherwise I would bring something along the lines of like Arowell, Edward, and then some other kind of healer. Probably, like, I could have probably brought Destina here for the sake of like revival or something like that, but either way, we're just going to go with this team. Let's see if we can make this rock. Because with Christy there, she gives so much extra ER to Doris. Doris is not going to have to worry about being reset by Lua at any point. Because that's probably the scariest thing. Because if your healer is ever reset and you desperately need that heal, you're just in deep shit. Like, especially when you're going into this much damage. Because, yeah, that Rylet is cooking. I'm pretty positive that Rylet is not actually on a lifesteal set. He's probably rocking like speed and pin and probably like over 300 fucking crit damage, something like that. And the A-Ravi's like a pretty typical A-Ravi, but probably not a counter A-Ravi. Probably like a destruction or a pin or something along those lines. Either way, we have Alencia here because Alencia is just going to go into A-Ravi just for the sake of killing it. That's all that's really, really important. As soon as we get her to go down, then we don't have to worry about all the injury that's proccing. So the scariest thing that's going to happen is if we happen to hit max injury. But we do have like kind of an ace up our sleeve with defense buff. So any chance that I get, I'm going to be taking that chance to soul burn the Doris for her defense buff, because whenever you soul burn her S2, you get the defense buff for an extra turn. So then that's 3 turns of def buff, which if you're also rocking Prophetic Candlestick, like I am right here, your chances of getting your S2 back are actually pretty high. Now, I've been getting a lot of dual attacks throughout this whole Guild War, which, hey, cool based, I'll take it, whatever. Dual attacks almost never happen to the point where it like really affects me or helps me, but hey, it happens quite a bit here. I'll take it. But like, yeah, this is why Christy's here. She's there to just make your life easier going into Lua, because quite frankly, we just straight up do not have enough counters for this bitch. I really, really wish we did. Sadly, we don't. Hopefully, with this new balance patch coming through, we'll finally see some more ways of dealing with this crazy bitch. But thankfully, this Rylet is also extremely squishy, because if you recall, like, see the HP that he's at right there? He's been at that HP for pretty much the entire fight. He got hit once by Alencia from the AoE, and he pretty much stays at that HP the whole time. And he also, like, doesn't dodge anything. So this is also a case of, like, Rylet being a complete clown. Which, Man, I love Rylot to death, but like there ain't no denying that like Rylot really underperforms a lot of the time. So yeah, we ultimately never get under 10k with Doris because we were able to kill Apocalypse Ravi quick enough. So this is probably one of the safest versions of the team that you can get. But unfortunately, if you weren't able to kill the Apocalypse Ravi quick enough, that's the one like real threat that you had of possibly losing. And ultimately, we pull through because, hey, whose turn is it? It's Christy, and Rylot's a clown. Didn't dodge anything. Okay. And with the last fight, we go a little bit crazy here. This is definitely not something to be recommended. It's another one of the biggest reasons why I really wish we had like character profiles for gear sets. I really wish I had multiple sets that I could put for my Lone Crescent Bellona. Right now, I just have her rocking a injury set because I usually have her going into like HP bruisers. This is a prime example of when's a good time to just bring her in with like a lifesteal set. Because if you have a lifesteal set, you have almost nothing to really worry about. But either way, we decided to use Ainos 2.0 one more time. Not really for the healing, but more for just like for funsies. I'm trying to see if I can manage to make her work, because the way in which you're supposed to use Ainos, you're definitely not supposed to use her as a standard player like I do. I am trying to use her kind of like in a standard format. Don't do that. If you want to use Ainos correctly, just straight up bring her in with like 2 other Dark Cleaver units. Like that's really it. Which is where she's really, really good with things like Lone Crescent Bellona, because she'll also cleanse whoever has the highest attack and then boost them up on the CR bar, which really helps her because you can run Lone Crescent Bellona with like almost no speed. It just really, really works super well that way. But let's actually discuss this. So there's Senya, there's Conqueror Lilias, and then there's ae-KARINA. So this is ultimately a bad idea because I don't actually have a cleanse. I just have like kind of a pseudo cleanse with Ainos. Because if I were to miss my attack against the Senya at any point, like I get really, really lucky throughout this entire Guild War. Like just bar none. Look at how low my health is. Like this all looks terrible. But I'm trying to decide if I want to like soul burn or not, because I didn't remember if this Karina was rocking any kind of ER. Turns out she's not rocking any ER at all. This must be like some like defense monster Karina or something. So, hey, I get lucky. I managed to land that Death Break, and Shazam, she's dead. But either way, on to the last match. So we have Christy, Shadow Knight Pyllis, and Destina. And we're going into Briar Witch again. Now, this is where, like, my theory of, like, okay, well, what if I just have a lot of protection against debuffs to going into Briar Witch? I shouldn't really have any problems. And I'm pretty much correct. So, like, right here, I don't even think this hits. Yeah, like, so this very well could have been a lower effectiveness Briar Witch compared to the last one that I fought. Or maybe I just got lucky right there. But, like, hey, Destina has tons of ER. Shadow Knight Pyllis now has a metric fuck ton of ER because Christy's there. So, ultimately, I think I'm in good shape because I have an actual cleanser here, and I'm not saving the S3 for the sake of, oh, I can use that to revive. Well, you can't do that as long as Briar Witch is alive. You always have to remember that. That's something that, like, even I forgot about. But ultimately, I was saving it for just in case, like, everybody got hit with debuffs or whatever. So that's why I was saving the S3. And ultimately, once again, crazy dual attacks just coming through. They hit the Briar Witch. Now she's already burned her immortality. Now I just have to hit her once. Shazam. Now the actual, like, real big threat of the team is gone. And now with the threat gone, all we have to deal with is Ahmed and Savior Adin. And we have insurance to fight the Savior Adin. We have both Destina, and we have Aureus on Christy, and Shadow Knight Pyllis. Shadow Knight Pyllis is going to take all the hits from Savior Adin. Sure, she's going to get her S3 back by, like, 1 extra turn, but that ultimately doesn't really matter, because the S3 already has, like, a ludicrously long cooldown anyway. And then we have Destina here, who just boosts up my turns anyway, and I'm also provoking her. So she probably has her S3 available right now, but because I burned her turn because of provoke, doesn't really matter. And right here, I have def buff, lots of extra defense just because of how Shadow Knight Pyllis works, and I was able to just go into it again with the S3. Shazam! Savior Aiden is done. And with that, all you have left is Ahmed. And when Ahmed's just by herself, yay, she's just a Soul Weaver that does nothing but support stuff. So ultimately, I fast forward here a little bit, and I just take her out. And with that said, that's the Guild War. Oh. Holy hell, that was stressful. I hate Briar Witch. But anyway, yeah, that was my Guild War, and I'll just go ahead and I'll talk about a few things real quick. For the future, Wednesday, I am not sure if there's going to be a video for Wednesday. I will try my absolute best. I will see if I can get something going. I'll probably get a video out. I do not know if there will be commentary. I'll let y'all know. But basically, yeah, this is the week of the Orbis Caster Clash competition that I'm going to be going to. That's apparently going to be like later on in the week. I'll wait on SG to like announce that kind of information. So yeah, Wednesday, I'll see if I can get something going out. I don't know if I'll have a commentary one. I'll do my absolute best. Friday, it ain't happening. I will see if I can get something made whenever I come back. Maybe Sunday. I have no clue how like late or early or whatever I'm going to get back on Sunday, but like I said, I'll do my best. And if Friday was just bad, just pretend Friday didn't happen. We'll just skip it. And other than that, yeah, that's pretty much the plans for the week. Hey guys, wish me luck. I hope I do well, and I hope I just don't completely, utterly embarrass myself. And with that said, I also have one other thing I wanted to say. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to one other YouTuber that I've been watching for a bit. Their name is The Bear. I'll put it up on screen real quick, and that person has been making me laugh a lot. But either way, thanks for watching my video. If you can, leave a like, and if you like more of my content, go on ahead and subscribe. Later.